So this is a video I'm making about the Sedona Hills fire here in western Loveland. I was alerted, I looked at my phone, one of the cameras had gone off, the security cameras, and I thought it was a deer, and I look out there and I don't see any deer, and then I'm like, this big plume of fire's coming up. So I went to the window and looked, and sure enough, there's this like 3-story plume of flame, and I called 911 and called it in and gave them the necessary information. And at one point, it starts getting really smoky, and I was thinking, oh, maybe they have it under control. I could see them out there with the hoses, they're trying to just spray it, and that's probably why it starts getting smoky here. But then at some point, the wind kicks up, and boom, it just took off. And then there was a fair amount of smoke, as you can see in this picture. And I went out actually to hose down my barn, which is wood. But anytime you can see the open flames there in this picture, and it just was going up. And I could see that their hoses were limited. They could only get where they could get around the house. And you can see their skid steer, I don't know what they were doing with that. I guess they were trying to make some kind of a fire break. But like I said, the wind kicks up, boom, it would break through whatever they had. And, you can have some 100-foot hoses, but there's only a certain length you can get up to there. And there's the open flame, and you can see where it's jumped past where the skid steer is. And it was just going right up the side of the mountain. So fortunately, the fire companies came fairly quickly, because without them, I think it would have just taken over everything. It's very dry here. You can see the one fire vehicle there, and they had a plane and a helicopter coming in. And so there's the fire going up towards the crest of the hill.
Looks like it's running along the top of the crest. They just dumped some more chemicals.
And the plane. And they're dropping the flame retardant. That's the tinted stuff that looks red. And they did that a few times. The helicopter came in and dumped water. I believe they got the water from Carter Lake. And you can see it dump it. But you don't really see it in this picture. And they ended up using our property as a staging area. This was, I guess, going to be the northern line. Fortunately, the wind stayed going towards the more, going towards the north, I guess, as opposed to coming towards us. We were more south. And if it had, then I think they were going to use the crevice there to block the fire. And here are some fire jumpers coming in. There was at least 4 or 5 troops of them that came in. And always very interesting to see how they went up single file. And at times they would branch out, but then they would always go back to single file. I guess keep track of everybody. And here's one of the firefighters in the back area. And here they are in the front, setting up their staging area. But because the wind was going the other way, where we were on the southern edge wasn't really as critical. And this is the day after. I took some pictures of the burned out area here. I think I read it was about 12 acres. And you can see the line of firemen there looking for hot spots. And some of the discoloration is from the fire retardants. So thanks for watching. And there's about the Sedona Hills fire.